What is up, PRFFFFLMP Season 2ers? We are back at it with the first playoff recap of the season. We don't have too many of these left. I mean, we've only got two more podcasts in the chamber. We recorded them last night, so we should be good to go for the next two rounds. But yeah, we're excited to get with you guys. We've got a special guest here, the man, the myth, the legend, the general manager of the one team. I don't remember what it's called.
Reinforce fighters.
The Green Force Fighters, the team that took a paddle to my behind this week. Thanks for joining us, Matt.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be
Yeah,
here.
Yeah,
Matt,
yeah,
I'm loving the filters that you're putting on here. Love the sunglasses. Yeah, looking good.
quality, quality.
It's a little bright, just trying to
Yeah.
protect my
Yeah.
eyes.
Now I noticed that you're wearing your Bengals shirt. Is that like in solidarity because you're expecting to drop a goose egg this week? Um, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that it's funny because I'm pretty sure I wore this shirt the last time I was on the podcast.
Do you only have one shirt?
And, arguably, I have three shirts actually. I
Okay.
have an orange Bengals shirt, a white Bengals shirt, and a black Bengals shirt. And I
Yeah,
cycle
that's fair.
between them.
Yeah.
But I happen to have the orange Bengals shirt on today.
Okay.
Fun fact about Matt's black Bengal shirt. When he told me about it when he first got it, he said that it was like a hairy bee,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thinking
Fuzzy,
that
but yeah.
yeah, fuzzy bee. I was thinking that like the actual texture of the shirt was
Mm.
fuzzy where the bee was.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's a pretty ridiculous shirt. But it turns out it's just the picture of the bee looks fuzzy,
Interesting. Huh. Now,
like
while
fuzzy,
we're on
hairy. Yeah.
the topic, are there any Bengals players that performed exceptionally well this week?
Um, there
No,
was
not
one who performed
particularly.
fairly well.
Yeah. Did anyone start Joe Burrow this week?
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Mm. How'd that work out for them?
Not
Well,
particularly well.
we're gonna
Okay.
find out.
All right. Well, and that's a great segue into let's get this thing rocking. Let me share my
Yeah.
screen here.
By the way, I'm your other host, Sam. I didn't get introduced.
That's fair. Technically, I don't think I introduced myself either though this week.
No, you didn't. But
Yeah.
So
That's
but
really,
we're
you
we're
guys
Sam
could
and
be
Trevor.
anybody. We
that's
don't know
fair.
who you guys are.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm the other host, Trevor. We're back at it again.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that they've been watching every episode, so they don't probably need that
Yeah, no, that's fair.
introduction.
Yeah,
But
this is for just the newcomers, right?
yeah,
Of
of course.
course.
Now interesting thing, we have a lot less to go over than we normally do because there's no consolation bracket.
Yeah,
Hmm.
well, it's playoff time. We gotta deep
That's
dive
right. Jump straight to the good stuff, right?
into the good stuff. We gotta really dissect these matchups.
So let's get started here with my unfortunate matchup here with Matt. Now we were chatting a little bit about this earlier, and I had just pointed out that I think the real big determiner here in the victor was the fact that the Lions game was very pass heavy, and they couldn't really get the ground game going, which favors Amon-Ra scoring two touchdowns and 164 receiving yards on 13 catches, as opposed to Jahmyr Gibbs having 38 on the ground and four receiving yards,
Yeah.
or
Four
four
catches
catches,
for
excuse
20
me.
yards.
Yeah. So, that's a tough one to swallow. If the Lions can establish the run, I think I walk with this one. But
Hmm.
alas, that's not how it worked out for me.
Yeah,
Um,
St. Brown had almost as many points just with his receptions as Jameer Gibbs did overall.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Yeah, tough, 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 tough for Gibbs. This was an interesting match. It was all over the place. So when it started on Thursday night, and you had who did you have playing?
And Baker
Yeah, Baker.
and
Was it just
Godwin.
Yes, Baker and Godwin. And so you started off with a pretty strong performance from Baker and Godwin. However, I'm
Hmm.
sure there was a lot of FOMO that you didn't start senior Kyle Pitts
Mm.
over here with three tutties, 166 yards, and 11 catches. Um, now,
That,
granted,
I
Kittle
can't
had a
imagine
good
many
game.
people started him in their
No,
lineup,
yeah.
nor would
I
they start him over George Kittle.
yeah, and I feel like the only people that were starting Kyle Pitts were in deeper leagues, probably. Like if it was like a 12 or 14 man league, where like a dynasty type scenario where you might not have somebody else. But anybody with other options wasn't starting Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Um, but fortunately, it did not come back to bite you. And George Kittle
Mhm.
had a good week as well. You can't be upset with 19 points from your tight end.
No, that's
Uh,
very, very good.
yeah. But then my team went crazy. I had ETN go bananas. Um,
Mhm.
Dude, the Jaguars were awesome this week.
yeah, yeah. And then like Zay Flowers had a good game, Brissett had a good game, and then a bunch of people started to flounder, right? Bucky, yeah, that was the Thursday night thing. Bucky didn't play particularly well. Gibbs didn't play well. Shakir did fine, but nothing spectacular.
Hmm.
And I just couldn't get it rolling after that.
Well,
Um,
I think the big downfall is it coming down to Sunday night. You needed the Cowboys defense to do
yeah, to
something,
do anything. Yeah,
and I mean, maybe if the Vikings had run out that like third string dude they had in there a couple weeks back
yeah,
when he
yeah.
was
Brosmer or
terrible,
whatever his name
that
was.
probably wouldn't have
Max
that could have
Crosby.
played into the Cowboys' favor. But unfortunately for them, they had J.J. McCarthy,
Yeah.
and he was slinging the rock.
Yeah, they had nine
So
out there doing his
Yeah,
thing.
Nine was out there doing good things.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't think I can be too upset. Pretty respectable performance. I had a good season considering I think my team really was not very good.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean you're throwing out there Jacoby Brissett
yeah,
with your receivers are Zay Flowers and Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
That's not an
No.
ideal fantasy lineup at the
No.
top.
your
No.
QB situation was in
Pretty
turmoil
pretty
throughout. I mean,
unfortunate. Yeah.
Jaden Daniels seemed like a really good pickup initially, but then injuries.
Mm-hmm.
When he was on the field, he was all right, but he just
Yeah.
wasn't on the field enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Tough. But hey, that's
The,
sometimes I think the steal of the draft for me was Travis Etienne because I drafted him
Mhm.
late. He was
mhm.
maybe like a fifth rounder or later. And I mean, he finished 30th ranked fantasy football player. I think he's a top 10 running back on the season.
Probably. I mean, he's
Maybe
almost
I'm
got a
making
thousand
that
rushing
up.
yards, 12
Um,
total touchdowns. I mean, he's.
yeah,
I
Pretty good.
will. I will check that number for you there, Trevor,
yeah,
and
yeah.
see.
Thank you. Gotta get
Well,
our
My
stats correct.
While you're doing that, I think my steal of the draft is definitely Rico Dowdle because I picked
Yes.
him up in like the 13th round or something like
Yeah.
that. It
A
was like
100%. Are you
deep
sure
on
you
my
didn't pick him up off
bench.
waivers? I thought
No,
you.
I drafted him. I
Okay.
drafted him, and this I picked him up on waivers in another league I'm in, but in this league I drafted
Yeah.
him like I want to say he was like my 13th pick or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
What a steal. I think another late
Yeah,
pick
he
that
was
I
my
had
13th pick.
was
Travis
RJ
Etienne.
Harvey. What would you say?
Travis Etienne is
Hmm.
the number 10 overall running back.
Dude, look at me
Pretty good.
go. I know my fantasy stats.
You
Pretty
sure
good.
do.
It's pretty good.
It didn't help you with the matchup, but it
No,
certainly helps
no.
on the podcast.
Yeah. And RJ Harvey was another one I took a little late. And I think he was an unfortunate one. He just took too long to really get going. Because these last 3 weeks have been respectable fantasy performances.
Hmm.
He'd randomly snap off a two touchdown game, but he'd only have like four carries and six catches or something like that. So he
Yeah,
wasn't really dependable until after what's his face got injured, J.K. Dobbins.
Yep.
true.
Um, the rest of my team was really nothing special. I drafted Booty just to have support. Love having a little booty, on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's always
went
good to have some booty support.
That's right. Yeah. I picked up Blake Corum just as a flyer in case something happened this playoffs. Who has had a very actually,
I think
yeah,
yeah, you look at those last 3 weeks,
yeah.
like there's a real conversation there in Los Angeles that he might be
Hmm.
taking over for Kyron Williams, who's had a pretty good season, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're kind of doing the double running back thing, which a lot of teams are maybe starting to lean toward, which is
mhm.
not good for fantasy players, but um in these
Well, I
productive.
mean, you saw it with Detroit last year with Gibbs
Hmm.
and Montgomery, and
Hmm.
they've been a pretty good duo again this year.
They have, yeah.
And
Um,
Chicago's done it for a couple weeks with
they
Swift and
have,
Monangai. So,
yeah, yeah. I think the big thing is though that it doesn't really work on teams that aren't good.
yeah,
You kind of have
you
to
know, like
already be a good team.
yeah, like Chase Brown and Samaje Perine aren't out there putting up big
Not
fancy
gonna get
numbers.
it for done exactly. I
Yes.
saw that Matt picked up Jalen Wright, just as a little bit of a handcuff there to Achan. Didn't end up needing it, but he liked to have it just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
0 points from your kicker too, Matt. What happened
Hmm.
there?
I was gonna talk about that.
Yeah, what are we
The
thinking
fact that I
here?
was the highest scoring player in round one of the playoffs, despite nothing from my kicker and leaving one of the great all time tight end performances on the bench.
Yeah,
So I think that's just a testament to the balance I have on the rest of the roster.
yeah, yeah,
Because even in my flex spot, Chris Godwin picked up a TD, which granted, if he hadn't had that TD, it would have been a pretty mediocre to bad game.
yeah,
So I
Yeah,
got kind of lucky on that. I think my receiver situation outside of St. Brown, it's kind of a guessing game as to who do I think is
yeah.
most
Little
likely to
little
get a
boomer bust.
TD.
Yeah,
yeah,
Because if I pick someone who gets a TD, that's great.
yeah,
Otherwise, they're probably going to get like maybe 5 points.
yeah.
yeah.
And all reality though, right? I mean, you like starting Baker. You obviously like starting Amon Ra. You like starting Rico and Achan. Well, Rico has been a little up and down, but he's been consistent
Achan
enough.
Achan is by far my
Yeah.
MVP. Like
I
he's easily the MVP of my
I
team.
think he's like the number five running back on the season. Um,
Achan he has not scored below 11.3 points in any game this
yeah,
season.
I mean, and it's
So
crazy too with how bad the Dolphins are. It doesn't matter. They just feed this man the ball.
he's the
Devon
14th
Achan,
fantasy player,
Yeah.
14th
De-
rank.
Devon Achan is the number 5 running back on the season.
I'm a machine. I am
You're
on
killing
top
it.
of it.
Trevor stats.
Yeah, but you didn't necessarily answer my other question, Matt. So how does it happen that a kicker gets 0 points? What specifically happened with that Evan McPherson there?
He did not attempt to kick in the entire game. If he had attempted to kick, I'm pretty confident he would have made it, unless it was like a
So
really
did
far
his
out kick. But
so did his team just score in other ways?
they scored a lot of points actually, but then they just went for two every time. They actually scored I
Oh,
think 64 points if I'm not mistaken, and
wow,
then
that's
they
pretty
went for
good.
two and got the 2 point conversion on every touch. They scored 8 touchdowns and went for two and got it every time, I believe.
Now,
That's
is that
awesome,
why it
actually.
says L here in the final column?
Yeah, that was for ludicrous because they
Okay,
Yeah.
scored
because
so
they
many
never
points.
kicked the field goal at PAT. Yeah, that
The
checks out.
scoreboard glitched out and couldn't even keep up because they kept putting up touchdowns every other play. It was kind of
Yeah.
nuts. You
It's
had to be
interesting
there.
that the Bengals scoreboard doesn't go above 64 points because generally the only way they win is by scoring at least 64 points.
That's the NFL for you, man. Any given Sunday, just and you never know what's going to happen out
Yeah,
there.
any given Sunday, am I right?
As Joe Burrow says, crazy things happen.
Here's the
That-
thing. Here's the thing. So I'm going against Josiah next week or
yeah.
this week, I guess, and the Bengals have, I believe, statistically the worst rush defense or among the worst rush defenses. And my MVP, Devon Achan,
Hmm.
he's got to be like licking his lips. Like, and they've got to back up this, they're going to a new QB.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're probably going to give this man the rock a lot. He's
Yeah.
probably going to put up some
Yeah.
crazy numbers. So
Dude, he's
Josiah,
about to go on a
I'm
generational
coming
run.
for you, Josiah, just so you know. Good luck.
This
Now,
man's
Matt, are
gonna
you
have
willing?
8 touchdowns and 450 yards on the ground.
Now, Matt,
It's very possible.
are you willing to start only Devon Achan against Josiah and
Nope.
maybe win?
Nope. I am actually employing a new strategy that I have not done before.
Hmm.
And if you go to the matchup, you'll see that I currently have it set to where for the first time this year, I'm going to run the two tight end strat with both Kyle Pitts and George Kittle out there.
You can't miss on
So
either of them that way.
we will see if that works
Yeah.
out. It's an
Yeah,
interesting.
considering considering what you said about your receivers a little bit ago, that's not a bad strategy. That gives you less choices with your receiving options.
That's exactly what's going on. And Pitts has been pretty good with Cousins throwing him the ball lately. So
we might circle back to next matchups. Let's finish up this week first.
Okay, so do we have any? We're ready to move on, or do we need to talk more?
No, we'll head over to Sam here.
All right. Sam, I want you to talk to me about your QB scenario.
Yeah, how are we feeling there?
So Patrick Mahomes, let me see if I can pull out a little bit of this Trevor magic here. I believe Patrick Mahomes is the number 4. No wait, I want to say he's the number 3 quarterback on the season.
He's definitely top 5. I was gonna say probably 4, but I don't know if I'm right.
He, I want to say I was actually excited to draft him, even though going to fantasy drafts, like Patrick Mahomes has a reputation, at least the last few years, of not being a great fantasy quarterback.
Hey,
but as you see there,
we got Tanner Perkins.
Tanner. No way!
Wow. Hello. Hey, look, Patrick Mahomes.
Wow, a bonus guest.
Tanner
That's crazy.
Perkins, bonus guest joining us.
No
on
way.
the podcast, first time ever. Tanner, how are you doing, man?
I'm good. Just got done with a youth Christmas party, so yeah.
Very awesome.
Nice.
How does it feel to be the first ever surprise in the middle of the episode guest?
It's crazy, never saw it coming. It's a surprise to myself, to be honest.
That's awesome. That's what
How do you feel about Patrick Mahomes tearing his ACL, Tanner?
I mean, I feel bad for the guy. That's always tough.
Do you feel bad for me?
No.
How do you feel about the Chiefs are eliminated from the playoffs?
I am so happy. I mean, I don't think I've ever been happier about an elimination, to be honest.
No, that checks out.
Yeah. It's a big blow to my team, really. Mahomes, he had a great year, really good fantasy bounce back year for him. So that's kind of tough for me. Really, I have Trevor Lawrence on the bench, which after last week, 44 points. I'm going to be starting him this week, but they're going up against Denver, so I don't expect him to get 44 points, which is a little scary.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Chiefs, I think are going up against the Giants, which would have been nice to have Mahomes.
I mean, technically, you could start Gardner Minshew.
I could do that. That is an option. But you look at the rest of my team there. I got absolutely nothing from 2 of my receivers.
Jetta he's got to be the biggest bust on the season. Is that right? Would that be fair to say?
I'd think so. I mean, he hasn't really. 2 touchdowns out of a first round pick.
Well, I think he was going kind of like he was a top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I drafted him like 6 overall or something like.
So yeah, something like. I mean, he's a high first round pick, and to be.
I was wrong. Mahomes is the number 2 overall quarterback on the season.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. I guess Lamar was out for a few weeks because I would expect it to be Lamar.
JJ. I mean, look at those stats. The last 7 weeks?
No, I know there were a few weeks ago. I did mention. How do we feel about benching Jetta?
You see, I picked up our our boy Ricky Pearsall, in case I might need to bench Jetta because he ain't doing anything.
He didn't do a single thing.
JJ McCarthy even had a good game and Jefferson didn't do anything. So
and Jetta had a pretty rough drop in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had one touchdown called back.
Yeah, there was a holding call on one of them, I think.
Yeah. But I mean it's tough because he had 8 targets. Like you're approaching double-digit targets coming away with 2 catches for 22 yards. It's pretty rough. It's not a good look.
I feel like a player of his caliber has to bounce back at some point.
He's got to.
I really need him to because I lost my quarterback and going up against a good team in Aaron next week.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team, Trey McBride.
Trey McBride is an absolute machine that was built to catch touchdowns. There's nothing.
Tight end 1 on the season.
Yeah. And it's not even close. I think he's.
Last year you look at Trey McBride. I don't think he scored his first touchdown until it was really late in the year, like week 15 maybe.
Yeah.
I think he had 2 touchdowns all year. This year he's got 10. just an absolute monster this season.
Yeah,
But he went crazy. What else happened with my team? Chase Brown's been pretty consistent for me. He had double-digit points again.
that is impressive, actually, from a tight end to see back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I look at those catches too.
Yeah, I mean, over 100 receptions, and I mean he's still got 2 games left, 3 games left.
3 games
Yeah, I
left.
mean,
Yeah.
if you when we're looking at this matchup here and you see Mark Andrews 18 receiving yards on 2 catches, that's kind of the deciding factor in a game that was decided by only about 17 points.
Yeah.
So there's like a almost 29-point difference in the tight ends.
Yeah.
And Tanner, let's talk about your team. What did you like from your team this week, and what did you not like?
I mean, obviously Jameson Williams just popping off.
JMO is a clear wide receiver 1 at this point. I think that's.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, he had 1 goose egg, which is a little tough to see against the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
all that's ever since Dan Campbell took over play calling duties, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
Yeah. So yeah, pleased with Jameson Williams. Disappointed in Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Now, I heard a quote from Joe Burrow this week, and he said, and maybe I'm misquoting it, but he said that any team he played for this week would lose. And would you agree that he played for you this week and you did in fact lose?
I mean, yeah, I lost.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to confirm that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad week for Burrow.
Yeah.
I was really worried there because the Ravens' defense has been awful, and Joe Burrow's killed the Ravens in his career. But then he goes out and has one of the worst games of his career.
Yeah. Tough.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I mean, Kenneth Gainwell did good for me this week.
He did.
A little disappointed in Jaden Higgins. I've played him some this season.
Yeah, well, these last 5 weeks or so, he's had reasonable growth as a receiver. He's a rookie, right? He's got 400 yards here, Now I don't know if any of you guys know this, but there's a rule in dynasty leagues that says if a rookie receiver doesn't hit 525 yards in their rookie season, they will never turn into a fantasy viable option. Did you guys know that?
No.
Never heard that.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah. And granted that was on a 16-week season, so I think statistically it bumps up in a 17-week season to closer to 550 or 560 yards.
Yeah.
But and that's supposed to factor in slow starts, injury, all that kind of stuff, learning the playbook, that if they can't carve out a role in their rookie season where they can get around that 525, maybe a little more, that they likely will never turn into a true fantasy asset. They're going to end up just being another guy. So Jaden Higgins here, all that to say, right? He's at 400 yards on the season with 3 weeks to go, right? He can put together a couple 50, 60-yard weeks. I think that bodes well for his long-term outlook as a player. Unfortunately, it didn't do anything for him this week with 1 catch on 1 yard, or 4 yards, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, my own little insight there.
Nice.
I'm trying to think of receivers to look up and try to dispute that, but
well, I got one for you. I mean, it's obviously just a guideline. It's not like every receiver.
For sure,
Jameson Williams, I think he only played in he only had 1 catch in his rookie year or something like that. And then
he was suspended for a lot of his
and his second year he didn't do a whole bunch, but granted, there were some suspensions and stuff. But he's really come on the last 2 years and he's become a really solid player. So there are exceptions here or there, but I think I kind of agree though. You kind of know, there are receivers who come in and you can kind of tell pretty quickly if they're going to be something or not.
Yeah.
I mean,
so another one is, I think it's Troy Franklin, right? This is his rookie season. Is that correct?
Yeah.
No, no, this is not. No, no, it was
Yeah,
last
He's
year.
he's been around for like a 1 year, but
Yeah.
but I was gonna
Sorry. Carry on.
say what did Maserati Marv do in his rookie
Hmm.
season?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Good question.
Because I don't think he did
We'll
a
leave that
whole
up to Sam.
bunch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna put that one on Sam to find us those stats. Now, granted, Trey McBride in his rookie season definitely did hit that 500,
Mhm.
threshold, and boy, did he
Mhm.
turn into an asset.
Yeah, for real.
Maserati Marv in his
Yeah,
rookie season, 62 catches, 885 yards, 8 touchdowns.
yeah,
That's pretty good. That's
yeah,
pretty good.
and he is an asset, you know.
Yeah.
And it's obviously not projecting the like total long-term upward trajectory, but just do they have the ability to turn into a like an actual like viable starter? Or
Yeah.
are
Right,
they just going to
right.
be a wide receiver three boomer bust flex play?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
um,
What
but
do we
maybe
have on
we'll
our
look at a couple more of these as we go through.
yeah? What do we have on our benches? Had Tanner left some points on his bench
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Troy
you left
Franklin,
T-Law,
Jordan Love.
Troy Franklin. Not a, I mean, I don't know. I guess, in theory, right? Like if he starts Jordan Love over Burrow, which you're never gonna do, there's
Yeah.
another, 9 points. You start Troy Franklin over Jaden Higgins. There's another 18. Like so it was winnable with some
Yeah.
changes. Actually, is that the big one there? Just Troy Franklin
Troy
over
Franklin, yeah,
Jaden Higgins?
that would have brought it really close.
Yeah.
But
Tough look, but it's just the way it is sometimes,
yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Good season for you, Tanner. I
Hmm.
mean,
Way to crawl
I think
back.
yeah, your team put up a really good fight. Your team really scratched and clawed to the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I was quite surprised to get into the playoffs, to be honest.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And that's something that I think you're used to saying as like a Bengals fan or a Browns fan, right? Like I'd be
yeah.
surprised if we made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only happened like once back when we had Baker. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't you guys make the playoffs with Joe Flacco?
oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, next up, we've got the Daring Diggers and Bropocalypse. Now, I'm just gonna
Mm,
say it now. My pick to win it all is still fighting. Love to see that, right?
Semi-finalist.
They
Yeah.
sure are. Yeah.
And his team still is finding ways to win games, right? Now we do have let's look at Puka's rookie stats, right?
Hmm.
His
Puka
rookie
had an
season,
incredible rookie season.
he
He broke
had
records in rookie year.
1,500 yards. So he definitely seemed like someone that would turn into an asset. Let's look
I
at
would say
Boo
Emeka
Boo,
Egbegbue. What's he at on the season
the
so far? Uh,
870 yards.
that looks like an asset to me.
Yep.
I would think
Um,
so. And he was hurt too, so he could have had even more.
yeah, Nico Collins. I mean, he's been around for a few years, but yeah, his rookie season, almost 1,300 yards.
Pretty good receiver.
JSN, he's another one, right? So he was one people were a little low on him, but he did hit that threshold. That's
Hmm.
that's the, he got his 600 plus yards.
Now
So even
he's
though
working like crazy this year too.
yeah, but that's kind of the thing, right? Like even though people were expecting him to come in and pop off, but he did exactly what he's supposed to do and go grow as a player. And now he's, I think, the number one wide receiver in the league. Maybe I'm
I
making
believe
stuff
that's
up, but
I believe you're right because I mean he's leading the league in receiving yards. I
yeah,
think.
he's got 9 tuds.
Yeah. He's not leading in touchdowns because I think Devontae Adams is still leading in
Yeah,
touchdowns.
that
But
sounds right.
I couldn't believe it last year when somebody dropped Puka and I picked him up and he basically he
I
kind of
remember that.
carried and I think I had Achan on my team last year as well. I was riding the wave all the way to the semifinal before it all came crashing down at the
Yeah,
hands of Aaron. But
yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
JSN is the number one receiver on the year.
there we go. There we go.
You're crushing it,
Um,
Trevor.
yeah, tough. I mean, it was a great season for Cody. He came on strong. JSN did some work. Nico did some work.
Mm,
DeAndre Swift had a good week. Dak definitely played. He underperformed. Um, Yeah,
I think Dak was pretty decent this year, actually, for Cody.
Yeah, but I meant in this game. Sorry.
Oh, for this week, yeah.
Yeah. Probably would have liked to have started Caleb Williams there, but it just kind of looks like it was one of those games where it just wasn't gonna break his way, you know? And
Yeah,
that's what happens sometimes.
You're starting Devin Singletary then
Yeah.
in there at running back. Like that's not ideal, you
Now,
know.
did the vampire steal someone from Cody?
The vampire stole no, I don't think the
No, I
vampire
don't think
lost
so,
to
yeah.
Cody.
Yeah.
You mean beat Cody?
Yeah.
I'll look back at the
Yeah.
record.
But yeah, I mean, tough loss for Cody there. You know, not a lot to say. He left it all on the table. But this week, Aaron just had a few too many players popping off with Puka going crazy, and then a few players just pulling their weight. Right, Woody Marks, Derrick Henry, a little bit lackluster from Derrick Henry, but Travion Henderson snapped off like a 70-yarder or something like that.
Yeah, dude, a couple big
Went
ones.
crazy.
Yeah. So looking strong there for Aaron. Next up, we have Josiah.
Cody obliterated the vampire in week 2.
Okay. We've got Josiah and Jacob. Now, Jacob got crushed. He still has yet to start a kicker, but I can't imagine that was the differentiating factor here.
I don't think so.
He probably saw.
It would take a lot of field goals for him to win that matchup.
Yeah.
He probably saw Matt's kicker and and was like, you know what? If Matt can win with a kicker scoring 0, I can win with no kicker ball. And that just wasn't the case.
And he did last week, did he not? In order to make the playoffs,
he did.
If anyone was curious, Ladd did get over that 525 catch threshold.
Nice.
Season, you know, just to make sure we're still keeping up. Davante Adams. Now this is a little tough for Aaron.
Too on the bench.
If he doesn't have Davante Adams for this next week, that could be really tough.
Yeah, who's he got there as a possible replacement? Christian Kirk.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
The wide receiver situation is looking kind of dicey right now.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, he does have the option to maybe go 2 tight end like Matt did.
You could do a 2 tight end set.
What's his lineup right now? Or in this
Cooper Kupp in there.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, Davante Adams.
Yeah. Josiah might want to do some
somewhat dicey, but
might want to do some wide receiver market research there.
Yeah. Now some some rookies, right? So last year, Rome.
I think he's a rookie. No, that was last year. Yeah.
Yeah, last season he hit his threshold. This year, Luther Burden's a big one. But I think he's looking to probably hit that threshold. He's right at 479. He's 1 to 2 solid games from likely becoming a genuine fantasy asset in the future. So.
Do you think quarterback Josh Johnson is going to grow into a fantasy asset in the future?
You know, we can hope. Now, when we look at his season stats, he's never been ranked higher than the 601st fantasy football player in the league.
But when you look at it, in his 3 years, he's never thrown an interception as a quarterback.
True. That's true. He has I don't know what his quarterback rating is, but he does have a 25% completion percentage. So that's not great, but he does have a season like a career total of 0.78 points for fantasy. So
let me see when the last time he threw an interception was.
Probably in college, maybe high school. Maybe he's never thrown an interception.
Well, he's been in the league for quite a while. His last interception was in 2021 when he was playing with Baltimore. Okay. I think that was when they played the Bengals, actually, because they had him in as like the third string QB.
Now, Tanner, what do we think of Jacob holding on to Josh Johnson all season long? Do we like the move? Do we not like the move?
I think it's unwise. I mean, I don't know if I've really seen him even play. So,
well, he most recently started a game 4 years ago.
Oh wow!
So he's been in his first career start was in 2009, the same year as Matt Stafford.
Wow.
it's interesting that they just keep him on the team and just let him sit there. Like if they're not going to use him, why don't you replace him with an actual backup or something?
Or put him on the practice squad or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like a waste of money.
Waste of a roster spot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I also believe that this was the Baja Blasting of the week, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
So
Indeed.
let's all say it together. Jacob
got Baja blasted at night.
Yeah.
He did get Baja blasted at night. Out in space, launched off. You know what? Jacob's team, not bad overall when you look at the season. I mean, he had a losing record, lost kicker to the Vampire, but Bo Nix, I think, had a pretty good season.
Yeah.
He might be a very respectable fantasy quarterback going forward.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Bijan Robinson did big things. So, but good year for Jacob. I know you probably don't really pay much attention, and I know you're not listening right now, but keep it up. If past Jacob can lose to future Jacob, then future Jacob is just going to win. So future you is going to win in fantasy football.
That's right. Now we have less than a minute. So let's real quick. We've got Sam taking on Aaron.
Oh, I'm going to get roasted. My team stinks. My team's going downhill.
Does look
good
like
win, Aaron. Good win.
And then we've
got Matt. I feel good about my matchup, but Josiah's dangerous though. It could go either way.
Jonathan Taylor could drop a 40 burger at any moment.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be a tough game.
Achane versus Taylor could be the matchup to watch. And
could you imagine them both dropping 40 bombs?
Oh, that'd be awesome. So fun.
Love to see that.
And Taylor's on a Monday night, so that could be pretty scary for you, Matt.
Could be the wait and see type situation.
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe Brock. Also with Brock Purdy playing, like that Monday night game could be very pivotal for who wins.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, let's make our prediction.